The RTX 50 series, and especially the RTX 5080, is going to make a lot of gamers mad. Let's talk about it. Before that, if you just built or bought a new PC and you don't want to spend $200 on a Windows 11 Pro license, well, thankfully VIP CDK Deals has just what you need, offering excellent prices on games and software, and right now you can get a Windows 10 or 11 Pro OEM key for a great deal. Just find the best price and apply my special discount code GPC20 for an additional 30% off, bringing the total to just $23 for Windows 11 and $17 for Windows 10. And you can even find great deals on products such as Office 2019. You can also check out securely with PayPal, and once the payment is cleared, you should get access to the code both in your account as well as in your email. In order to activate your new copy of Windows, just search Activate under Windows and type in your key. So if you want to learn more, be sure to click the link in the description below. Alright, so the RTX 5080 and 5090 are looking to be incredibly powerful. The 5080 should be somewhere around an RTX 5090 in terms of raster performance, maybe a bit less, but possibly faster when it comes to ray tracing. And then the 5090 is going to be leagues faster than that, and again, possibly even some insano type of speed thanks to new AI and ray tracing cores. So a lot of people are looking forward to the 5080 and the 5090, which are almost upon us. But there's a lot of people who are really mad as well. And why are gamers so mad about the RTX 5080 and 5090? Well, surprise, surprise, it has to do with the price. What? Really? Yes, the price of these cards is looking to be absolutely wild. I mean, the 4090 was already pretty crazy at $1,600, but that is nothing compared to the alleged prices that we've been hearing about the RTX 5090. With no competition, Nvidia is set to almost certainly charge at least $2,000 for the Founders Edition and possibly more, and it's sounding like the average price for an AIB RTX 5090 is likely to be $2,300 or possibly even higher on average. And that is a pretty huge step up and does call into question the value of the RTX 5090 when compared to the 4090. But let's be honest, the people who are looking to buy a 5090 aren't too concerned about value for the most part. I'm sure they're not happy, but they're gonna probably buy it anyway, let's be honest. But the RTX 5080, that's one that's going to make people really mad, because it looks like we got some more information about the RTX 5080 pricing. Now, this info is actually coming from WCCF Tech, which originally comes from @Garoski. Who knows what that is, but apparently an Asus model is listed for nearly 1,700 euros, it looks like. But if we take away the 20% VAT as well as the possibly $100 to $200 on top of the MSRP the Asus is likely to be charging, the Asus model will likely be about $1,350. But before you panic, yes, that's very high. However, do keep in mind that some AIB models, such as ones from Asus especially, are likely going to have the Asus tax. So what's the MSRP for the 5080 really going to be? Well, it's likely to be somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200, but based on this new leak as well as past information, it's starting to sound like $1,199 is once again going to be the price for the 80 class. And that's got a lot of people very angry, because the 80 class used to be quite a bit more affordable, closer to $700. And while we have had some pretty substantial inflation over the last couple of years, bringing the price from $1,700 to, for an AIB card, possibly more than $1,200 on average, is quite the leap in the price for an 80 class card. And while 16 gigabytes of VRAM is, in my opinion, still perfectly suitable for an 80 class card, to be charging over $1,000 and still be stuck with that for the second time in a row feels, well, kind of bad. I know a lot of people are expecting or were hoping for 18 or 24 gigabytes of VRAM, and it looks like that's basically confirmed to not be the case at this point in time, as not only do we get this information, but there's a ton more stuff online, including some box art of an RTX 5080 gaming trio, allegedly. Now, this could be faked, it could be photoshopped, but when you take a look, it does look pretty real overall over on WCCF Tech once again. And here, yes, you can see the RTX 5080, which is not denoting an increase in VRAM count anywhere on the box, and all other leaks are also suggesting, again, 16 gigabytes of VRAM. And gamers are collectively not happy from what I've seen online. And let's be honest, this is something that, yeah, if you've been used to buying 80 class cards and now it's starting to, yeah, slowly price you out of that market segment, that definitely feels bad. But with no competition from AMD or Intel at the 80 class or higher, well, it's unlikely that Nvidia will be dropping the price substantially on the RTX 5080. To be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit surprised they're going back to $1,200 because, well, they just slashed the price on the 4080 effectively by introducing the 4080 Super, dropping it from $1,200 to $1,000 and increasing performance. But they seem to be confident now with no competition that they can once again go back for $1,200. The question is, are gamers going to buy it or are they going to revolt? And I think a lot of that's going to come down to not only the performance of this card when it comes to raster and ray trace performance as well, but on top of that, the increased AI capabilities of this card, as there's even more information now suggesting that DLSS 4 is coming. And this is a big unknown. People are theorizing it could have something to do with frame gen, whereas a lot of other people are theorizing it could actually just have to do with the render pipeline as a whole, somehow massively speeding up or improving the visuals of your game in real time. And if that's the case, well, then perhaps people will let it slide and still purchase an RTX 5080 despite its very high $1,200 price point. But that's all the information we have right now on the RTX 5080, aside from, of course, the specs, which I'll throw up for you guys on screen right now. But yeah, even though it's looking like a very powerful card, I think it's going to come down to what the new software looks like and what's going to do for you as a customer before people decide to buy the RTX 5080. I'm hoping these leaks are wrong and it turns out to be $999. I'd find that to be, well, it is certainly high. I'd say an acceptable price point for the 5080, but at $1,200, Nvidia's really going to have to wow me for me to be recommending an RTX 5080 at such a high price. But at the same time, with no competition, what do I tell you otherwise? Go buy a used 4090? Well, that might not be an option for a lot of people. So, puts reviewers in a tough spot as well as customers, but we'll just have to wait and see what it can do before we make the final decision. But yeah, that's just what I think. Do you think that the RTX 5080 will be worth it at $1,200, or do you even think it will be $1,200? Maybe it'll be even less. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below, and of course, I'll see you in the next video.
If you made it to the end of the video, be sure to drop a like. Every time you do so, AMD and Nvidia release new GPUs. Also, if you want to see more, check out one of these related videos. You won't be disappointed.